in essentially that there's this big unspoken elephant in the room that people are struggling to make themselves relevant. And that's why you see all these inefficient programs that get gummed up with things like equal opportunity, whatever quotas, forced diversity quotas. Yeah.
Yeah, and just real quick, did you guys see those tweets from the fire brigade, the London Fire Brigade, saying that Peppa Pig and Fireman Sam shouldn't reinforce gender stereotypes because it might deter young girls from wanting to become firefighters?
What the heck?
Oh,
like, okay, on the surface of it, it's quite funny, it's quite amusing, it's quite dumb. So, well, Britain's a meme. Yeah, it's very easy to say that, but I mean, if we scratch below the surface, what does this imply? Of course, they're going to have diversity quotas, so they're going to have gender quotas to make sure that women work in these places. But since they can't physically do the job because it's very physically demanding, and unfortunately, they aren't bestowed with the anatomy to do a job such as firefighting or policing, they tend to get fast tracked into managerial positions. And when they're in these managerial positions, they just foist all of these ridiculous social justice programs, which all the other sort of the physical laborers within these departments have to adhere to.
Oh, and with like I was talking about, Orwell, like with my military background, looking at things like that and having been, everyone in there's this expression in the Navy that everyone is a firefighter first. And let's take that diversity quota, and let's say it's something as small as like 20% of your firefighters need to be females. That will get people killed because they are not strictly for not being strong enough. If you really want to ever put an objective physical, if you want equality for physical capability in those jobs, it doesn't exist. You will get people killed.
Not even that, but look at it. The FIU collapse of the bridge, which was done by a woman engineer, right? Something that requires a lot of logic, geometry, discipline. Like this woman that collapsed this bridge that she tried to build was more focusing on the aesthetics of the actual bridge itself than the actual construction. And that's what ends up happening. You have a bridge that ends up collapsing and killing people.
Yeah, and engineering is something that not even a lot of men are able to do. It's a very specialized job.
Yeah, some men aren't even able to do that. I mean, they're able to work in it and build in it, but it takes a very specially skilled man in this type of thinking. And women just are not built for this type of thinking. They're more based on emotions. And like I said, the aesthetics, that she was more, like I said, worried about how it actually looked and adding a woman's flair to a bridge.
Well, speaking of women in formerly masculine